Now is Chris Bumbray, film critic and entertainment correspondent. He's also the editor-in-chief of JoBlo.com. Chris, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, Matt.
This is interesting, the back and forth. Netflix initially, the bombshell, I think fair is a fair characterization of when we initially heard about Netflix taking over Warner Brothers. And then, shortly after, this Paramount bid came into the picture. This is interesting from Warner Brothers board today. What do you make of this whole situation now rejecting that, or at least telling their shareholders they should reject that takeover bid?
I mean, I think it's going to get really heated, and I would imagine that Ellison's group is probably going to make a revised bid, probably even higher. But the thing is, one of the reasons they told their board to reject the bid is that they say that the money, even though he's offering significantly more, they say that it's kind of not really that as guaranteed as basically the Netflix takeover of Warner Brothers. But particularly, they have problems with some of the sources of where the financing is coming from. A lot of it is coming from Saudi Arabia and from the Middle East. A lot of it was originally coming from China, from the Tennyson Group, about $1 billion worth. They were first to pull out. Jared Kushner's group also pulled out recently. So yeah, one of the big things that was the backstop of it, I think, was Ellison's own personal wealth. And his trust, but I think that they just kind of thought that it was a little bit too much of an illusion, right? It wasn't guaranteed enough, as opposed to the Netflix bid, which is really real and that can be backed up. But that said, I don't think that Ellison is going to quit, and I would imagine that an even higher bid will be coming in pretty shortly.
And that's what Variety's reporting too, Chris. Variety is saying that Ellison's group and Paramount's going to go back and they're probably going to up their bid because it is significantly more. How do you see this? You mentioned this, it's going to stay hostile, maybe not an end here. We were not expecting this deal to close, though, regardless if it's Netflix or who it might be to take over Warner Brothers, until at least late next year, if not into 2027. So how do you see this playing out?
Well, the thing is, the shareholders haven't even voted yet, right? And they are going to vote, I think, in April or something like that. I think that's when the actual vote is supposed to happen. But even once that happens, it's got to go through regulatory processing. It's a long process, and it's business as usual at the moment for Netflix and for Warner Brothers. They just announced their whole slate of movies coming out next year, and like you said, I mean, this probably won't actually go through until 2027, the absolute earliest, maybe more like 2028. I mean, I remember when 20th Century Fox was bought by Walt Disney. That took years. So I would imagine it's going to be a similar thing here. Lots of hoops to jump through, lots of regulatory issues to face as well.
Yeah, clearly not done with that. Chris Bumbray, film critic and entertainment correspondent. Chris, thanks for your time. As always, appreciate this.
Hey, my pleasure, Matt. Thanks for having me.